we have ourselves another point of view game to cast of Age of Mythology Retold, and I don't think I've casted at least a point of view of an ISIS game in a while, and Mini Yeti is playing, and he's known for his more aggressive styles of play. The map is Alfheim though, so I don't know if we will see the aggressive style, but he very rarely goes for some kind of 2TC or 2TC fast heroic kind of boom style. He's normally quite aggressive. Even we can see straight away the priest is going forwards. I think that's a good thing to do against the Hades anyway, is find the Hades town centers as ISIS. I think I covered this quite a while ago when we watched Recon play this exact matchup, probably, I don't even know, 8-9 months ago even, is you want to be denying that second town center if you can. And then what Recon did was on the back of that grab himself 2 extra town centers, which is pretty crazy. But Mini Yeti probably going to be trying to deny the town centers. He has seen this one. He's going to whack up an obelisk, and that should get in the range of that. We'll see if anything's coming. The obelisks for Isis are so cheap, so he can even whack one back here, because I imagine Astro as the Hades is probably going to be taking this obelisk down before he gets the town center anyway. So Astro is finding himself some nice cows. The Catascopus can wail away all he wants at the priest. It won't really ever go down. We see a bit of a relic situation, small trickle of food, really nice, because Isis gets the small trickle of food anyway. We don't have Mini Yeti going for what we can call the kind of sweaty micro tricks to get maximum favor from the monument to the villagers, where what I do and what some other players do is they stick the monument to the villagers there, and then for the first 2 rounds plus of food drop-offs, you can actually empower the monument, and then you end up getting a slight more amount of favor, and that means that you can get your Flood of the Nile as soon as you have that 135 food rather than floating 60. But Mini Yeti decides he doesn't want that. It's also kind of bad if you do miss the food cycles, then it's a little bit harder to get up to the next stage. So it's min-maxing, exactly. Cuddy Danks gets it. It's min-maxing. And it's whether or not you really want to do it. Does it really matter that much? You're probably getting an extra 10 food or something, but you are also getting more favor in to be getting an early Anubite out or an early Sphinx if you want to go for that one. If you do, I think 3 rounds of food or 4 rounds of food, then you can get an early Anubite as soon as you advance with 1 monument, and it just ends up kind of making a difference in that respect. We'll see what he does decide to go for. Only put 1 obelisk up, and then did feel he was forced back with the priest. Temple going up on this side. I remember in Legacy recorded games, you could check the point of view on the recording, seeing the micro and the camera movements. Yeah, I do kind of miss that one too. I did a Legacy video of the first ever tournament, and it's so wild that you can go back to like something that was 20 years ago and see exactly where they moved their camera and stuff and exactly what they selected. Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, I guess you wouldn't really use it much, but it was just nice to have to just kind of see something. And here's getting that small trickle of food, which is going to be just a nice little bonus. And Bast is going to be the choice. I think I've seen Mini Yeti play Isis before, and I think he is a bit of a Bast enjoyer over the Anubis, whereas Anubis can be used to deny a second settlement with use of the Anubite, couple of priests, and your Plague of Serpents. Sphinx can come in and do some damage, but it's a little bit easier to chase down, because the Sphinx, he's pretty slow when he doesn't have any upgrades. And a second priest did come out, but we see there is definitely no second town center coming for Mini Yeti, at least for the time being. There was no prosperity used, or there was no 10 villagers on the gold mine to get that second town center up nice and early, and it is going to be a barracks play. So even though it's quite a defensive map, or at least we assume it's a defensive map because it's Alfheim, it has these little sections here that you can put some walls up, and there's a nice situation here for Mini Yeti with his gold mine where 1 wall looks like it secures 2 gold mines. Potentially not. There could be a little gap over here, but still something that you need to keep in the back of your mind, that your opponent could have something pretty similar, and the priest is looking for that one. I imagine it'll be a couple of spearmen coming out. There is a Sphinx coming around the back, and the spearman is going to come in. Now, what I mean by the Sphinx is slow is he is technically faster than the Anubite, but the Anubite can come here and jump over trees, and it ends up being a little bit easier to get away from the Achilles and the Jason or whoever you're against on that side. So the double or both forward settlements have been found and scouted, and there's no second town center on those ones. We haven't yet seen the back TC, we haven't yet seen the base, so we don't know what the Hades is going for. I think we did see a Minotaur though, so he did go Athena. Now the Spearmen are going to be looking around the other side, just having a little scout, see what's going on. And Catascopus is finding it, so potentially there could be something going on this side. Potentially this Catascopus is in to see if he needs to defend his second town center. And normally when a Zom is dropped around 6 minutes in, you probably think that's going to be on a second TC. He sees those Sentinels. Now, what is Mini Yeti going to do? One great answer to this is going for some kind of fast heroic, and we actually see that that is pre-queued for Mini Yeti because you can start to come up to this position. You can drop a forward Migdal if you really want to. But what you can end up doing is get some siege towers, get some chariot archers or some camels, and start to put the pressure on the buildings, on everything. And nice play to get some value out of these 4 spearmen plus 2 priests to try and force the villagers off of this forward hunt spot. Looks like the town center for Astro looked like it was pretty decent on the front side. It has a gold mine, has deers, and has berries, but they're all forward. Potentially there's something behind. We don't know. We haven't yet seen it. But there's so many resources here that Mini Yeti has denied with just his handful of units, which he's definitely going to like that one. I imagine Astro here is going to build some kind of units to secure this for himself at some point. Unless he wants to go for some kind of fast heroic option himself. But it looks like there is an archery range coming, which is a nice counter to the Spearmen. Spearmen have very low pierce armor, so these Mini Yeti Spearmen will be getting pushed off at some point. And Nephthys is through. No prosperity used yet, so the villagers can come over to the gold mine, and this is exactly what I like to do too. Just be out on the forward hunt against a 2-town center player, and then move over to the gold mine, drop that prosperity down, and have about 1,000 to 1,500 gold to work with in the next stage. But it looks like he's doing it without the prosperity, so maybe wanting to get that max value prosperity while having your shaft mine a little bit later on. You're getting signal fires. That's a pretty wild upgrade to get so early on with kind of not much eco. I guess he just really wants to see what's going on inside this base, getting max value from his obelisks. It gives you 6 line of sight, so it's going to go to about here, I would imagine. So the obelisk spam is going to be pretty strong, and I love these walls. Absolutely love this walls. This is very similar to... Oh, nice find from Astro. This is very similar to what Norse players do when they're against somebody turtling like this, as they send over a berserk to do this. They're pretty fast and they can run away themselves, but it's also a good option to do with all the other civs. And unfortunately, Mini Yeti is found, so nice play from the Hades there, knowing that that might be a possibility of something going on, and it is a forward Migdal stronghold. This is my favorite way to play ISIS. It's just, even if it doesn't work sometimes, it's just so fun. You drop your Migdal stronghold, and exactly what I wanted to see, drop your monument to the soldiers in a way where the Pharaoh can empower this, and it means that the Hades can't drop another Sentinels, and he can't drop his restoration on this spot. The same thing as if he goes up to the next stage, gets a curse, the Mini Yeti's units in this radius, which comes out to about here, won't actually be able to be cursed, and it's absolutely huge. It's like Astro, he is trying to secure some gold / food on the other side of the map, which is a good idea. Unfortunately, we can't see, because the game is still bugged a little bit, that these are actually being gathered from. If they don't have a health bar, they're dead. So Mini Yeti will need to come over here and stop that kind of situation. And what is the unit of choice? Looks like it's camels. Camels, Siege Works is going to be coming up. Monument to the Soldiers first. That is the correct order, in my opinion. Get that up as soon as possible to stop anything from going on. Your Pharaoh can move over to this at any point. This also heals in this radius as well when the Pharaoh's on it. But the other job for the Pharaoh is spam these siege towers out as soon as he possibly can. When the Pharaoh is on a building, the units just come out ridiculously fast. He gives a very small increase to your eco in comparison to how well he spams units out. And the siege towers are going to be rolling through. There is already a couple of hoplites this side, so chariot archers would be a good shout. There is enough wood in the bank to do that. Unfortunately, the Pharaoh is still over here. Oh, no, it's because he wants to get a third siege tower out. Normally we see just 2 siege tower push, but a third one is going to be what Mini Yeti is after. Why not? I mean, it means that you'll be able to take down everything a little bit quicker. They're just quite expensive. And now what I really want to see is the priest microed onto the siege towers. They are going to start healing, and if you get all of the priests on one siege tower, technically it's not as efficient, but if there's only one unit being targeted down, just heal up that bad boy, and you should be absolutely fine. And I think Mini Yeti, he's hitting some kind of decent push here. The town center is going to be under threat, and is the Pharaoh on the monument? No, he's not. Okay, so there is a restoration that can be dropped at any point, but there's no real units to for Astro to deal with. So town center goes down, and we do see, though, a huge villager discrepancy for the Hades. So if the Hades can just keep his stuff alive, then he's in a fine spot. He has lost a lot of buildings. It's so much value that Mini Yeti's got regardless. But if he can't manage to kill... excuse me. If he can't manage to kill the villagers, then Astro can just build more stuff to deal with this. But the prosperity is dropped now. Pharaoh comes over here, and there is only 12 on the gold. This one will run out as well. So I think he would have got a bit more value with it earlier. It does have shaft mine though, so that's always nice. And now the Hades, he has quite a lot of units, and we shouldn't really see from this perspective, but he is going Aphrodite, which is, I don't know. I find it really greedy when players that are one town center up on their opponent go for a kind of heroic age off the bat. I mean, obviously, the Isis is in the heroic age too, so maybe it isn't so bad. He also has so many units out, so maybe it isn't as bad as I'm saying. But what it is he actually built so many Toxotes that he couldn't deal with the siege towers. And now the chariot archers are going to be able to snipe down from range. And because the watchtowers isn't in, the Zom's been used. It's actually pretty rough for Astro on this side. What I'd want to see from Mini Yeti is another monument getting dropped up here. And we have an Ancestors Eclipse, plus Restoration, plus Curse, literally every god power getting dropped. Priests actually healing up on this front line. Could be used to take down the Nemean Lion. Does end up doing that, and then we'll go back to their healing duty. That's normally the best way to use them. Get rid of them, let them use their magic bullets, and then start healing again. And Mini Yeti's army is just so good against this unupgraded classical army of the Hades. The heroic age units of the Hades are the ones that are really hard to deal with, because you end up with the Peltas that snipe down the chariots so easily. And then actually just the upgraded hoplites are very, very good against the Camel Riders. And that's a pretty tough comp to really go up against playing Hades. You end up needing some barracks units or maybe some elephants in there at some point. But against what Astro's got currently, the camels plus chariot archers works, and actually sneaking up this town center on this backside is an interesting choice, let's say. I mean, the villagers were already there, so that's probably the reason that Mini Yeti decided to go for this town center, but why not? And now the chariot archers can really rain down. I imagine Astro's villagers will start to come down this side, and there is a wall there, so would be worth Mini Yeti heading down there at some point. On the flip side, he can just keep wrecking the base. I mean, if nothing comes over, the only thing which the Hades has are hoplites that just get melted by chariot archers, so he should be fine. I guess some Nemean Lions would be a good option to take these down, but I mean, there's just so many priests. How many priests do we actually have in this army? There is 4, and just a constant stream of Migdor Stronghold units. The Peltas are about to come in for the Hades, and they are the damage dealers. They're the backline beasts. But the siege towers, they just keep going. Definitely that third one was a great option. I don't know if there was a 4th one made, but if there was 3 and 1 goes down, then you still have 2. That is more than enough to start pushing all these things, even Hades bases, with all their extra defenses. And we'll be going through. He forgot Vils? Which one forgot Vils? What was Mini Yeti not doing villagers? Or was Astro not doing villagers? And now this is it. This is what you want to see. start going over this side. This is the only bit that Minietti doesn't see. Get rid of this wooden gate, start putting pressure on this side. I imagine if Astro had the resources, there he would want some kind of fortress up on this position, but he spent so much on those Peltas, on those Toxotes, and the nice bit of micro just to pull away from these Peltas. And now it's pure unupgraded Peltas, so start spamming out those camels, and he should be absolutely fine. Even elephants here would be a nice option to tank up against those Peltas. I guess the siege. I mean, if the siege towers are going to tank a couple of shots, you can sit behind them. Why not? Oh, Astro forgot a few minutes after he went heroic. Oh, that feels bad. That definitely feels bad. He was even quite a few villages ahead too. So, I mean, he'd be even further ahead. And now this is what I love. I mean, he has grabbed a second town center later, which is fine. But this one town center play using double prosperity while you're attacking is so strong. I love it. I mean, I don't love how few villages there are. You could definitely do some more and then start to buy and sell some resources. But just the second prosperity, you get so much gold income from it. But yeah, oh wait, we're the wrong side. It's 12. It's 12 this side. Still 12, no matter which one we're looking at. Oh, I didn't move these guys over. It's probably a little bit late now. But the fortress did manage to go up, and the siege towers still. I mean, I would love to have a stat of how much HP these siege towers have actually had, because I mean they've been healed up since the very start. The Peltas, they're trying to get in, deal with these siege towers, but I mean they are just getting healed up so much. I actually think that was a little bit of a misclick. Villagers are trying to go after them. This one's 40 HP and a dream, but look how quickly it goes up. Did Minietti have the tech? He didn't even have the tech yet. That was actually coming through, Spirit of Mart. And nice play from Minietti, showing the 1 TC fast heroic Isis with the siege towers is still pretty good.